Hi, this is Colleen Pearl the Cool Crone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the Tarotscope for the month of December 2021 for the sign of Aries. Okay, Aries, I've laid out 5 weeks worth of cards because Monday is the 29th of November, then the 30th, and then it starts on the Wednesday, the 1st. So I'm giving you week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which takes us up through the new year. The first card for the first week is Strength. And this card tells us that you have more strength than you know. You are a person that has a lot of abilities, a lot of strength, a lot of willpower, and if you will just look within yourself and trust yourself, and a lot of this reading is all about trusting yourself, then you will succeed in whatever it is that you're trying to do or that you're tasked to do. It might not be something that you're choosing to do. You might find yourself in a position where you just have to do something to handle it, and you're going to find that you absolutely can. The second card for the first week is the Seven of Pentacles. And this card speaks about a harvest of some kind. I always have problems doing this. I can never get right with the glare. So what we find here is that you have worked diligently at your crop, whatever your crop is, whether it's a project or actual crops that you're growing or something that you're building or creating. Whatever it is, you have done it magnificently, and it will come to harvest. It may be just about time to come to harvest. It may be a little early. You can't rush the process. You have to allow it to grow all the way to maturity, and then you can have your harvest. Just know that you will have a very bountiful harvest. The next card in this reading is the Six of Cups. And this is showing that you can get help if you need to, or you can help someone if you need to. You are able to act, walk, think, play, work in a world full of kindness. You can display and give kindness to others, and you will be given kindness back in return. So this first week of December is showing you that you can pull out all the stops when you really need to. You've worked hard for your harvest, which will come in the right time, and that you don't have to be hard-nosed about your life. You can walk and think and talk in a world full of kindness, and you will get kindness back in return. In the second week, we start out with the Tower. Now, let me back up just a minute. The first week of December ends with the eclipse in Sagittarius. So we are getting ready for things to absolutely change. And you'll see the first card at the beginning of the second week, which is probably the day after the eclipse, is the Tower. So something, Aries, is definitely going to shift in your life, and you are going to have to respond to it. Now, this Tower card does not mean that everything's going to collapse in your life. That's not what the Tower card is about. It means that something significant is going to change. It's either going to come to an end or begin, and that's going to throw everything else off kilter. You know how when you have a mobile, you know, those string things that you tie up and fix to the ceiling, and if somebody comes by and bats at it, the whole thing just goes crazy, flying all over the place. Well, that's what happens with the Tower. One thing can change. Or what if a piece of the mobile just fell off? That changes the weight distribution of the mobile, and so all the little pieces go flying all over the place. That's what can happen with the Tower. One piece of your life changes, and it could be a significant piece, and everything else has to adjust, has to accommodate. The next card is Justice. And this can indicate justice in a legal sense, that you're actually going to like win a court case or something, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that. It can also mean that just justice in the universe is coming for you. So if you are totally sure that you've been behaving beyond reproach, then you should wish for this justice to come for you. But if you have not been beyond reproach, then you should be forewarned that justice is coming for you. And so if you've done something that you need to atone for, that atonement is going to be asked for in the second week of December. The last card in the second week of December is the Two of Swords. Now, swords here are represented as athames or daggers. And the essence of this card is very interesting. It's a little different than in the Rider-Waite. The witch here is wearing a blindfold, but she's trying to throw a dagger at a bullseye. Now, the cat and the raven are looking at her. Maybe it's a crow. I think it's a raven. The cat and the raven are looking at her like she's crazy, because who could throw accurately if they were blindfolded? And so what this person needs to do is take her blindfold off and look within for the answers. And that's usually the correct assessment for any Two of Swords card, that you're angsting or worrying or fretting over the decision that you need to make, when really all you need to do is look within. You already know the answer. You just have to acknowledge it. And if you do something simple like flip a coin for the answer and you don't like the way the answer comes out, then obviously you wanted to make the other choice. But just find some method of making the decision so that you can move on in your life. The third week of December starts with the Ace of Wands. This is a very powerful card for manifestation. This is saying that you can create whatever you want. And so something new is going to be started in the third week of December, and you should be thinking very carefully about what it is that you want to have started. Something is going to start, so you might as well be the person in control of it. It's a powerful beginning. And I'm not surprised. Usually after eclipses, things do begin, because this is a new moon eclipse in the first week of December. So something is coming to an end, and it's the beginning, the very seedlings of the beginning of something new. And maybe by the time we get to this third week, this is your Ace of Wands. This is where you're really starting up this new thing. I just want to pause for a second here. The second card in the third week, right in the middle of the month, is the King of Swords. If you are the King of Swords, and Aries, I don't think you would be, but you might be, you're a person that is good at managing things, swift to make decisions, very well spoken, but not terribly emotional. And Aries, I think most of you are pretty emotional. So this is somebody near you who is ready to give you advice, who is very well read, who understands whatever topic you're going to him for advice for, and he's ready to talk to you about the advice. But he's not a warm and fuzzy character, so he's not a person who's going to give you a big hug and help you make your decisions. He's a person who's going to say, yes, that's a great decision, no, that's a terrible decision, and here's why. And that's what you need right now. You need some unemotional advice. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, which indicates that you feel that you're in a state of lack. You feel that you need more than just advice. You need help, physical help, either with your health or with money or with some kind of situation where you don't feel like you have the means, the resources to help yourself. So in this instance, maybe you've overextended yourself in some area of your life and you find yourself coming up short all of a sudden. That could be what you're going to the King of Swords about. You may be trying to understand how you got yourself in this situation and trying very hard to get yourself out of this situation. And I'm here to tell you at the end of this third week is when we have the full moon. And the full moon is usually a culmination of energy. So whatever started with the strength here at the beginning of the month, and then we had the Tower, somehow you allowed this to become a situation where you're really hurting. And I got to tell you, Aries, this just doesn't sound like you. So what I would do is go back to the Two of Swords and really look within again and see if you need to make a better choice before you end up with the Five of Pentacles. Now, the beginning of the fourth week is wonderful. It starts with the Star, and this is you manifesting exactly what it is you need. So perhaps this Five of Pentacles moment at the full moon is just giving you a worry. Maybe it's not truly manifesting this way. Maybe it's just a worry that you're having, and that's why you're going to the King of Swords for advice. And then you're able to actually pull it out of the hat. Because remember, your reading started with strength. So it's not like you're without means. You're very much with means. You're very, very powerful. So let's remember that and not go all crazy like you don't have anything. The following card is Temperance, and Temperance is just saying, you know, let's do everything in moderation. Let's look at what you're able to do, which is manifest like crazy, and let's just manifest what we truly need and not manifest more than we need, because the next card is the Devil. And the Devil in this deck is showing somebody who is clearly trying to manipulate or cajole these two people or bribe them so that they will go with him. But what this deck really intends is that you look at your own impulses and see if your own impulses sometimes lean towards things that are not good for you. Maybe you indulge in toxic behavior, or maybe you indulge dietary wise, or maybe you don't take care of your body, you don't exercise enough or something. But there are things that you do to yourself that bring about your own destruction. And so between the Star and the Temperance card, this spread is saying, take care of yourself, use your best judgment, do things in moderation, don't overindulge, and then your manifestation is beautiful, but don't over manifest. Don't try to get too much. Like, you don't need 3 expensive cars. You need 1 car that really runs well, that you can rely on. You need a great career that really fulfills you and also provides for your material needs. So don't go crazy with the manifestation and try to make, you know, everything in the kitchen sink come into your home. Now, the next week, the final week, begins with the Emperor, and the Emperor is a fair leader. This is a person that is just and knows their stuff, does their research, takes care of their people, and really just tries to do the right thing. He's also connected to the earth and the sky, and he doesn't forget his spiritual roots. So that's something that you are, Aries. You can be a leader. You can be a person who takes care of other people, like a really benevolent employer who doesn't work people to death, doesn't screw them out of what they're entitled to, but has a successful company. So I think in the 4th week, or the 5th week rather, what you're seeing is that you can be highly successful without being corrupt and deceiving. And then we have the Page of Wands, and this is a person who is young, who is eager, who wants to create things, who wants to have everything in their life, and they're just getting started. Now, if you're a young Aries, this could be you, but it also could be somebody, if you are the Emperor, if you're an older person, this could be somebody that is under you in some way, maybe asking your advice, or they're a part of your family. But this is a person who is young and needs to have good advice at this point in their life. The Page of Wands in this instance is either you wanting permission to go off into your new venture, or it's you helping somebody who is starting a new venture and is just very inexperienced. So either way, you will go within to see what is the right thing to do. And the final card is very interesting because it is not a definitive type of ending. It's the Moon. So you still need to look within. The Moon is a very changeable orb, right? She goes from full to waning to cross quarter to waxing to full. You know, she goes through all of her different variations in 28 days. So the Moon is extremely changeable. But the Moon tells us that we have all of these qualities within us. We're adaptable, we're changeable, we can produce magic, but we need to trust ourselves. And that's a big, big lesson in this whole reading, Aries. You do need to trust yourself. And even your oracle card says this. Cupio Dissolvi. So Cupio Dissolvi is saying you need to give Spirit permission to heal you. So you are the person who can bring all of the healing about. So whatever is going on in the month of December, if you go within and you tell Spirit that you want help understanding how to tackle all of your challenges and issues in the month of December, Spirit will help you. Spirit will walk with you every step of the way. But if you continually look outside of yourself and feel that you're out of control, that you don't have what it takes to really handle all these things, then you're going to find yourself coming up lacking. You're going to give in to these devilish temptations, and you're not going to be very balanced. Balance is another issue in this reading. We had the Temperance card. We also had the King of Swords and the Emperor. And all of these cards speak about balance, about keeping things in balance. Don't take more than you need. That's the Star card. Don't forget your roots. That's the Emperor card. And in this one, Cupio Dissolvi, she's saying that Spirit can help you solve or heal anything in your life if you will just trust that the answers lie within you. And connect with your higher self, guides, and angels, and then you'll be fine in this month of December. All right, that's the reading for you, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment down below. If you'd like to get a reading from me, all of my contact information is in the description. Basically, send me an email to coolcrone444@gmail.com. That's coolcrone444@gmail.com, and I'll see you next time.